What's going on, good people? Welcome to Camille Street, episode number 53. Woo, you guys. Y'all know how I'm going to start this off. Happy Black History Month, y'all. Woo! Yes. It is the start of Black History. Yesterday was day number 1, and today we are at February the 2nd. Now, I just want to get into a little bit of what I learned about Black history. And I do believe that Black history was created to celebrate those we lost during the Civil War. And it was only for 1 week. And we championed it every year. They continued. And now, 2026, we have an entire month. Clock it. So I just wanted to come through and say we are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. And as long as we continue to move forward in whatever endeavors we choose, we will remain unstoppable. And that's what I want to talk about today is I do believe that what took that history, aka Black history, to be created was our togetherness. You know, I see so many of us nowadays and we're just so divided. We're so separated. And it's not just amongst African Americans, the blacks, however you want to label us. It's not just among us. We're divided amongst everyone. There are other groups that are completely divided. And it all stems from, and I'm going to say it, and I might, y'all might not want to hear it, but it stems from brainwashing. We literally, I'll never forget growing up, my grandmother would never, ever really let us sit in front of a TV. Okay? And growing up, because I was born in the 70s, growing up, when we watched movies and we watched spy movies, we saw that the best way to control someone's mind and brainwash them to get them to do what you want them to do is sit a TV in front of them. You know, I'll never forget, and I don't know if you guys remember, but Circuit 5, Johnny's alive. It was the first movie about a machine. And they sat him in front of the TV, and he got a completely, totally different view of humans because of what he saw on TV. And a lot of the times what we are watching on TV is something that'll either keep us entertained, keep us AKA in the know, or something that's just definitely going to get our minds thinking. And when we continuously move through life being stuck and focused, you guys, I got a crook in my neck. I told y'all yesterday, it is still here. It ain't went nowhere. But back to, we're unstoppable. It brings us to my point today is that when we are in front of a TV or our computer screen, aka our cell phones, we lose sight, we lose focus. Just today with my new puppy, she keep pooping and peeing and I don't ever see her. And my mama said, yeah, because you're staying on that phone. And she's right. I know that there are a lot of things that I want to do, and half the day I'm either on my phone applying for jobs, on the computer applying for jobs, or playing games, or surfing social media, or posting on social media. And so we've got to take into account that, my friends, is a form of brainwashing. Because as opposed to us being creative, like I still need to paint my art that I drew the other day. Instead of us being creative, me drawing more art or me completing readings, I am glued to my cell phone or the TV. And we've got to make sure that we're able and capable of turning that switch off. Like Kendrick Lamar said, turn the TV off. Because in reality, everything on TV, it's a brainwash. Now, there are a lot of movies, I believe, that are teaching us as well. However, it's up to the eye of the beholder. Because we're going to all see something different. What I see is going to be completely different from what you see. And even when you translate it, when you hear things, someone may think that it meant this, and I may think it meant that. And so we just got to be mindful that we are able to listen and understand as opposed to listening just to respond. And I'm so thankful that I learned that from one of my mentors, Chu, that because I was listening to respond because my mind processes things faster. So I already feel like I know where you're coming from. 9 times out of 10, I do. But I feel like I already know where you're coming from. So I used to say quickly how I felt about where you were coming from. But I learned that listening is about listening to understand as opposed to listening to respond and give them your opinion. Now, let me say that again. I learned that listening is for you to understand where the other person is coming from, right? And I want y'all to know that you will never be able to persuade someone to see something different because we each have our own perspective. We each have our own view of things, and we each have our own opinion of what we see out of our own perspective. So we just got to be mindful that when we are communicating about what we see and how we feel, that we also understand that this person may not be able to relate. And you've got to remember that everyone's energy is different, aka frequency. It's all different. It's completely different. So you will never be able to raise the frequency of another person unless they choose to raise the frequency on their own. And so we got to remember that during these days, while we are walking through this light, while we are walking through this darkness and spreading the light, we have got to be mindful that 1, we're unstoppable. 2, we've all been brainwashed because we are DNA. We are the code. We are the original battery. We are the original computer. We are the original calculator. We are the original. And once we realize that, we will stop giving our power away to ChatGPT, to AI, to other things outside of us, as opposed to being able to tap in within. Okay. And you know that I wrote a song, and I did do a play on tap in with Saweetie. And we gotta tap into ourself. You know, so many things that we know and we know to be true to ourselves. And there's so many things that we know when we see it outside of us. And sometimes it's meant for you to keep. Keep it to yourself. And sometimes it's meant for you to share. In this era of growth, I am learning that silence is a deadly weapon. Yes, my friends, silence is a deadly weapon, because if you are able to keep your frequency vibing high and can silence your brain and allow you to think about whatever someone's saying and then understand it from where they may be coming from, and also understand it where you're coming from. And that, my friends, is when we will all start to be able to work together. You know, so many times if you make a statement, it's like, well, no. Yeah, because you're not listening to understand where I'm coming from. You're just listening and you only see your own perspective. But like I say, there are a million things to one instance that other people will see. So if a million other people see this one instance, you are going to get something different. Just like that whisper the word, and then they keep whispering it down the line, and half of the people don't even know the word. Half of the people didn't hear the word, but it was what they perceived it to be. So we just got to make sure that we keep unity, because once we can come together and stop this brainwashing and stop listening to respond and start listening to understand each other, I do believe that we can all come together and make a difference. Because right now, what's going on in this country and in the entire world is a lack of understanding, because everybody just wants to see things their way. They want to do things their way. So when someone tells you that I will do this based on my morals, you've got to realize that if their morals are subject to different ideologies, they will never have the same type of morals as you do. And you will never be able to make them have those same type of morals. But you've got to make sure you continue to live your life, shining your light and living through the morals that you set for yourself. And that, my friends, is when we will begin to see human nature at its finest without manipulation, because manipulation is a learned tactic. You know, magnetism is something you have inside. You will never have to manipulate anyone. All you have to do is communicate. All you got to do is speak. And if they can feel you, they'll be drawn to you, because we are that as well. Natural magnets. You know, when they say that magnetism, yes, we all have it. It's how you use it. All right. Now, you guys, you know what we're going to do. We coming through with a quote from my book, Get Inspired, Stay Inspired, Start Inspiring. You guys make sure you go visit the webpage, clhpublishing.com, and place your order. Okay. The ebooks are $4.99. The books, hardback, paperback books are $9.99. We got journals that are spiral bind. You guys support, and get some inspiration on while you're doing it. I had to rock my We Shall Overcome shirt because Martin Luther King Jr. knew we would overcome. Right now, what we need to overcome is division in between our own people. All right, so we're gonna open up the book and we're gonna read a quote. All right, I love this. Your thoughts change your life, whether they're good or bad. So only keep the good ones. You guys got to remember, your mind will dictate how you see life. So if you keep going backwards, you're going to stay in the past. If you keep focusing on what's ahead, you will never see what's coming. Just stick to the present. That is the best gift you'll ever have. As long as you have breath, you can make a different change, a different step, and go a different way. Get inspired, y'all. Make sure, again, y'all visit clhpublishing.com. And also, make sure you guys please follow me on Buzzsprout and iHeartRadio. I have started the podcast there, so I've got 2 episodes up. This will be my 3rd episode. And the more followers, the merrier. Go check it out. Check it out on YouTube. Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube. It's Camille and the Lion's Den. Hit that bell. Follow me on Instagram as well. It's FlyWithMe32. Thank you guys so much for your support. And again, if you'd like to donate to your sister, because y'all know she needs some money, honey, you can donate by Cash Apping me. It is Camille, CAMMI 321. You guys, get inspired to love on each other. Get inspired to start listening with understanding instead of listening to respond.